Whenever we go to a market to purchase a new mobile, we not only see what are the new features and the new models, we also try to understand that in the present mobile, what are the problems that I'm facing. It can be about battery life, it can be about the storage, it can be about how often it is hanging. And based on that, we decide which mobile is suitable for us. Something similar happens in case of reverse FMEA. By the time you will see the complete video, you will understand what exactly is the meaning of reverse FMEA, what is the purpose, how we can implement reverse FMEA in our organization, what are the key challenges and what are the benefits that we can get if we effectively implement reverse FMEA. So before talking about reverse FMEA, let's talk about FMEA first. So the FMEA latest version was published in 2019. That is called to be a first edition. Now, as per that, it's primarily a top-down approach wherein we are predicting what can be the possible failures which can happen in a process. And then we identify certain detection and the preventive controls. Now, whatever is the output of FMEA that goes into control plan, and from control plan, it goes into the SOP, and from SOP, it goes into the shop floor where it is actually implemented. Now, when we talk about reverse FMEA, so it's a bottom-up approach wherein we are just trying to understand that whatever has been predicted and specified in the FMEA, whether it is actually happening or not. Maybe we have specified certain competency, we have specified calibration of instrument, we have identified some pokayoka, but whether actually it is implemented there or not. Then generally at the time of new development, we talk about voice of the customer in the form of QCD, quality, cost and delivery. Now, what is happening now in the shop floor? Well, actually, whatever targets were there in QCD in the beginning, whether we are able to meet that or not. One of the best way to effectively implement reverse FMEA is the process audit, because while doing the process audit, we are actually trying to see that whatever is written in this document, whether that thing is actually happening or not. And that always ensures that FMEA always remains a live document. Whatever defects are there, either they are not produced, and even if they are being produced, they are being controlled very soon. And then certainly it helps in the customer satisfaction. So let's understand with an example that how reverse FMEA can be implemented. So let's see the case of this particular car. Now assume that there is a car manufacturer and there are certain targets which have been defined with respect to this particular car: quality, cost and delivery. So the quality target is that the rejection should be less than 10 ppm. Cost target, let's assume it's to be 100, and the deliveries, generally we always talk about the 100% only. But when actually the mass production started, we observed in terms of quality that instead of 10 ppm, it is going up to 80, 90 ppm. What can be the reason behind it? Maybe there is a possibility that the supplier that we decided in the beginning, we have started using an alternate supplier because the cost is going high. That's why we use that, and that's why the quality level is getting bad. Maybe there is a possibility that in-process rejection is increasing. And why in-process rejection is increasing? Maybe we are not doing the setup correctly. Maybe the competent manpower that we initially decided, we are not using that, and that is we are compromising on the quality, and that's why instead of 10 ppm, it is going up to 80 or 90 ppm. Now, then we see the cost part. Now the figure is 100, but actually it is going up to 105, 10 and 115. So why the cost is going high? Maybe there could be a reason that we decided on a certain raw material from the supplier, but either that raw material is not available or we are not getting the quality. So we decided to use a higher quality or a different supplier. So we could achieve, say, the quality target, but in the meantime, the cost has increased. Maybe the machines that we procured, at that time we had defined certain output from them. We had decided sometimes MTTR, MT web beside that. But now when the actual production is happening, machine is not giving the desired output. And because of that, we are not getting that output. And because of that, the cost is increasing. And then third, delivery. The target of delivery by default is 100%, but actually we observe that it is coming between 80, 90, 95, 98. Why it is happening? Maybe the speed of the line, which we design in the beginning when we talk about the single piece flow, but now when actually the mass production is happening, that flow is not there. Maybe the supplier that we selected, the suppliers, promised, whatever the PPAP that we did, we were sure that they will be able to give that kind of raw material and the BOPs, but actually that is not happening. Or maybe the rejection level is so high that we are not able to meet that delivery target. Then apart from that, there can be some more things. Maybe at the time of FMEA, we decided about certain Pokayoka. Now it's a time to see that whether those Pokayoka are actually implemented or not. And even if they are implemented, whether they're really working or not. We decided certain frequency with respect to the calibration to ensure that whatever output is coming, we can trust on that, whether we are doing the calibration. And even if we are doing the calibration, maybe at the time of FMEA, we decided that we need to do the recalibration every 2 months. But maybe in the real life scenario, it has become 1 year from there to save the cost. And there can be many more things which we can identify and undiscover at that particular time to know that what are the failures either which are happening or which are the failures which can come. So this is all are the examples with respect to the reverse FMEA. Now let's talk about the key industry challenges. Now when we talk about the key industry challenges, let me talk about the two key challenges. The first one is how often the organizations are aware about the customer specific requirement with respect to reverse FMEA. When we talk about customer specific requirement, there are at least 4 IATF subscribing OEM which are talking specifically in their CSR manual with respect to reverse FMEA. Let me start with Ford. Now, when we talk about Ford, there's a complete paragraph with respect to reverse FMEA, wherein they're expecting that how the reverse FMEA can be implemented in their organization. When we talk about General Motors, when you look into the clause related to the continual improvement, there they are talking one of the continual improvement activities, the implementation of reverse FMEA. Something similar is done by Stellantis as well as by Renault. So that is the first challenge, that how often organizations are aware that in the CSR of their customer it is specified. And the second key challenge is even if they are aware, how often we are actually understanding about it or implementing it. So if I do a summary, I talked about what exactly is FMEA, which is a top-down approach. Then I talked about the reverse FMEA, which is a bottom-up approach. Then we also talk about an example of an assembly wherein what can be the possible failures with respect to the initial targets about QCD, quality, cost and delivery. But now when it is coming in mass production, what is happening here? And then we can also try to put some measures with respect to see that whether things are actually working or not. It can be making the Pokayoka failure, maybe seeing the calibration frequency, maybe seeing the competence of manpower and all those things which we decided in the beginning. And based on that, we can identify what are the failures, and whatever failures we are seeing on this, based on that we can review our control plan, our process flow chart, our FME, and we can update on that. Well, regularly I'm getting a lot of feedback from your side and they are helping me to understand your expectations. So please do continue that. In case you want to understand a little bit more about this particular video, you'll find a link below. If you click that, you'll find a blog there. There you find this information in much more detail. And in case you are liking these kind of blogs and videos, you can always share with your friends and colleagues, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and my website bhavyamangla.com. I've got one more channel that is called Life Lessons with Bhavya Mangla. In case you want to know more about life, you want to go through different podcasts, you can always go through that and you can subscribe to that also. Thank you.